This gets to another point I really wanted to emphasize, Troy, which is that I'm old enough, I was a little kid, but I'm old enough to remember when in the 60s, everybody was talking about the great future America was going to have, right? And I was like a science fiction nerd, as non-shocking as that probably is. And but I talk a lot about it. You may remember David Graeber, the anthropologist, came on the show. It turns out he talks about it too, or talked about it. The Jetsons, the premise of the
Right.
Jetsons cartoon show. And this is what everybody thought was that in the future, George Jetson could work 2 hours, 3 hours a week. It's at a factory, support a family of four on that single income, have a home in the sky, a flying rocket, a car, and a robot maid, and all the stuff. And it was just assumed because in the 20 plus years since World War II, growth and productivity was equally shared between workers and management, that would go on forever. So there was a big wave of automation in the 60s, didn't crest as big as they thought it would. But the big discussion was, what do we do about the leisure crisis? That's what people talk. What are we going to do about the leisure crisis when people are only working 10, 15 hours a week? That was what people were worried about. I pulled an article from the New York Times that said, it's going to be in a couple of years, we're going to have a 4-day work week. And they were talking about maybe we should have a Department of Leisure in the government to help people manage the transition. Well, so they've hijacked all of that. They haven't just hijacked our past investments of time and finance as a society. They're hijacking our vision of the future, and that to me is the most critical thing of all.